Hello and welcome to Hardy Party of 5.5.
Howdy.
Rebecca, we've been to California a few times, right?
We have.
And what's one of our favorite things to do in California?
Go to theme parks.
Theme parks
Yes.
and studios.
Yes, we have done a
We
few
have
studio
taken a
tours.
studio tour or two.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've been to Universal and Warner Brothers.
That's right.
So of those two, what's your favorite?
Probably Warner Brothers.
Why is Warner Brothers better than Universal?
Well, I think Universal is like, it feels like it's inside a theme park.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers feels a little more like like you're on location.
Well, yeah, because you like go in some of the studios where
Yeah.
live shows are being filmed, and
Yeah, do you agree with that?
I think so. Yeah, I think so too, because I like the way you're like immersed in Hollywood, like
Yeah.
you're part of the action.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like on the Universal tour they have the Jimmy Fallon Tram song.
Oh yeah, the Tramtastic
Which is
Day.
have a Tramtastic Day. That's pretty good stuff.
It's catchy. We sang it the whole day.
We do.
We still sing it.
We sing it off and on. Do you want to sing it right now?
No,
we'll sing it later.
we don't.
We'll sing it off air. What if I was to tell you that there's a studio just an hour from where we're standing
Then we must go.
where we can take a tour just like Warner Brothers?
That's right. We must go.
Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready to do this.
It's called CAPERNAUM Studios.
That's right.
It's in Poolville, Texas,
Yeah.
which is right next to Weatherford, basically.
Close to Weatherford. Yeah.
And shows like The Chosen, which is like one of the biggest shows going right now,
Yeah, absolutely.
has filmed there. They filmed 3 seasons there.
Yes.
And I cannot wait to get there. We're going to talk to Tammy Lane.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to tell us about how she started the whole studio, and she's going to give us a personal tour of the whole lot.
Yay!
So exciting.
All right. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, let's hit the road.
Let's do it. Babe, we made it.
That's right. We're at CAPERNAUM Studios. It's where shows like The Chosen are filmed, and we're getting a chance to interview Tammy Lane. She's the founder of CAPERNAUM Studios. Also, she's going to take us on a studio tour, a personal studio tour. You're going to want to follow along. Let's go, babe.
Let's do it.
Okay, Tammy Lane, thank you so much for joining Hardy Party at 5.5. So happy to be here at CAPERNAUM Studios. Can't wait to dive in. Already asked you a few questions offline, but man, I'm going to ask you to share again because so fascinating. So let's just start from the beginning. Did you grow up with an interest in movies or filmmaking? How did you come about here?
When I was a kid, I used to get all my cousins gathered around and I would tell them, okay, now you do this, you're gonna dance here, and then you're gonna do this acting, and you're gonna put this costume on, and blah, 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 blah. And I was the oldest of all the cousins, and so that's kind of what I did because it just came natural. It's what the Lord had put in me to do. But then as I grew up, no, that kind of went away, and you know, just lived my life and never even thought about it again.
Yeah.
So
then how did it come back around to this? Like, how did we get to CAPERNAUM Studios?
Well, I got involved in a church. We moved here. I'm from West Texas.
Okay.
And so
Like west the town or west the geographical location?
Geographical.
Okay.
So.
There is a West Texas by us, and everybody always says west the town or west, yeah.
Yes.
So
in
geographical
West Texas area, and nothing's there.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty barren.
Yeah.
But so I grew up there, and then we moved here, and then I got involved in a church here, and at that church, that's where the Lord started really just giving me the desire to do different things. Like there was a drama team at my church, and the drama director left, and then they needed a replacement, and so my friends said, well, why don't you go and apply for that? And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't know how to do it. I don't know. I would be clueless of what I'm doing. And so they were like, well, you just need to pray about it. And so I was like, all right, I'll pray about it. So then I clearly heard the Lord say, go and speak to the pastor. And so that's what I did. I went and talked to the pastor, and I said, hey, I guess I'm available for this job if you, you know. And so he sent me to the worship leader who was in charge, and then they were like, okay, let's get started. So
So
they
then
weren't
at your
very
church,
picky.
yeah. Oh my! But you've been doing this since you were little. You've got what I call the gift of bossiness. That's what I say for myself.
Yes, my
So
husband would say
you've been
so.
doing this since you were little, directing people, and now God's put this back into your life. So what was that like? I mean, did you just hit the ground running, or were you just unsure yourself?
I was unsure and had to learn, and those the drama team, all those people, they bless their little hearts. They just put up with it, but they were great, and so that's kind of my learning. That's where I started learning it, and I started working under a director, and then I started doing, having a lot of people involved in some productions that we'd put on, and so it just kind of went from there.
Okay, so how did you get this property?
So this is a 2,200 acre horse and cattle ranch, and it is my dad's, and we're in partners with him in it, and my brother. And this portion over here where CAPERNAUM Studios is about 40 acres.
Oh, okay.
And so that's donated. My dad donated this part of the land for the ministry and for us to do this. So.
Okay, so the other acreage is still cattle and horse? It's still farm land?
Yeah, so like across the street over there.
Oh, okay.
So I call it his side and my side.
So did you grow up with horses on
Yes,
Little
my
bit,
dad's always had a love for horses,
Okay.
and I have been around horses my whole life.
your whole
pretty
life?
much.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I grew up around horses as well. I
did you?
showed quarter horses for several years when I was younger. I know, yes, but it's far removed from me now. But I did at one
me
point.
too.
Yeah, at one point. So, what are the biggest challenges in owning a studio like this? I mean, there's got to be some hard things you have to deal with.
Gosh, there's so many. I think one of the biggest things is the maintenance of the sets. And when we walk through, like I told you, I can look out the window and I can see 20 things right here that need to be fixed.
Yeah.
And it's just a continual battle to keep the sets in good working order. And then, if there's a storm and then something gets messed up, and having the money to fix everything. The manpower to fix everything. It's super, super challenging.
Yeah. Oh, I bet so.
But it's just what it is.
Yeah. So you decide you're going to have this portion of this land, your dad's gift, and you are going to put this studio here. And then how do you say to people in the community that might need it, hey, I've got this studio here if you want it. So how do you go about marketing yourself? I can't tell you how many times I've thought I would love to have some event studio or some event, and you just made this dream come to life. People think about doing this stuff, but then they don't actually do it. So how did you get that out there?
Well, I've been doing this for a while now. I started probably in about 2006. We opened it up so what we did is the Lord gave me downloads of 7 biblical short films, and this was years ago. And so that was my training ground. That was boot camp.
Okay.
Filmmaking boot camp.
Yeah.
And so I began the process. I called a producer friend of mine, and I asked him to come help me. And so he did, and he taught me how to do everything. And I learned on those 7 biblical short films. Well, in the process of that, we built inside a soundstage a biblical marketplace.
Yeah.
And it took about 2 weeks to build it and 1 day to tear it down. And so that's what the Lord used to drop into my spirit that, let's do he wanted me to do a permanent set.
Okay. Okay.
And so then that's what I did. So I built the biblical village, and I felt like the Lord said that we would have filmmakers come. And the filmmakers didn't come until 2018.
Oh, wow.
It took many years for them to come, and I thought I missed it. Lord, I thought you said it. Yeah. And here we are. And but the Lord is faithful.
Yeah.
And He just came through. But in the process of that, we just didn't sit there dormant.
Yeah.
We did something, and so God would give me scripts, and I created these live immersion experiences. And so we've done 5 or 6 live immersion. They're very large scale productions. They're like live dramatic productions.
Okay.
And so we have like 50 to 100 actors. And you are on the set. So like we take groups of like 15 people and walk you through each scene that are real short scenes. And so you're immersed in whatever the story is.
Wow. So your characters in the story? Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
So-
So that's how you still do that now? Oh, you still have those?
We have two, right now we have two a year, and one's called the Crimson Experience, and it is Easter, Easter weekend. And then we just did a 4th of July one.
Oh, wow.
About how the Revolutionary War started.
Yeah.
Like why it started and how it started. And so we got to dress everybody up in colonial costumes, and it's fun.
So cool. We just went to DC for the 4th of July. Have you ever been to DC before? Yeah. And so we got to be there on the 4th, and we actually went out to Mount Vernon on the 4th of July. So George Washington was there inspecting the troops and doing all that stuff. You would have loved it.
Oh, I would have loved it.
Yes. Yeah. So it was really cool. So why should production companies and filmmakers want to come to Capernaum to film things?
Well, we are an all-inclusive film studio. So, we have equipment, we have costumes, we have lodging here. We have production space, and also the awesome sets.
Yeah, no kidding. And we're going to take a tour of those in a little bit. Can't wait to see that stuff. You have costumes here? That's really cool. So is that typical, to film studios usually? Seems like that would be it seems like you would need a humongous warehouse to house those things.
Well, we just built one, and we haven't even moved into it yet. But yeah, we're running out of space bad. That is a problem.
That sounds so fun. I can't believe that.
We do.
Do you ever just go out and want to try on costumes?
Well, the biblical costumes are not that fun. They're not that interesting. But the colonial now, those are cool. But it's so complicated because we do them authentic.
Yeah,
and
okay.
You can't just get it dressed yourself. I can't just go in and put I have to have help.
Right.
Just like they did back then.
Yes, right. You had a dressing
And so
session,
I'm just well, I tried to be an extra. I wanted to do a little cameo in Washington's armor, and but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Didn't work out for me.
Okay, so let's talk about The Chosen, because I'm telling you, I'm a hairdresser, and I don't have a person every day somebody says to me, do you watch The Chosen? Every day we're talking about this show. So how did that, and it's filmed here, and how did that, I had some of my clients that did the whole feeding of the 5,000, I guess, that they were in all extras. We had a ton of people that we knew they were extras in that.
Yeah.
So how did that come about, that relationship with The Chosen?
Well, I guess Dallas heard about Capernaum Studios and called me.
Wow.
And he wanted a tour. And this was, prior to any of this happening. And so I gave him a tour, and he liked it and came back. Pretty simple.
And that's that. He just contacted you, heard about it, and here you are.
Yeah, season 1 was filmed here. The
Okay.
whole thing was filmed here.
Wow.
And then parts of season 2 was here, and then there's the first scene, I think, of episode 1 of season 3.
Wow, that's
here.
so cool. I love that. So Jesus has been right here on this, and
Oh,
he's been here before then.
That's right. Well, I saw Jonathan Rumi in the parking lot, and he was bent down petting our Capernaum cat. And he was by himself, and I was like, oh, this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
So I went over there and introduced myself and
Oh, that's cool.
said hi, but he'll never remember that.
That's so funny. Okay, so what other types of events does Capernaum offer? What else could people do here?
So we do a big film festival and media conference, and that is coming up in September, the end of September, and it's called Content 23. So you can look that up.
Who's that geared towards?
Filmmakers.
Okay.
And any type of filmmaker that's in or wants to be a filmmaker.
Okay.
There's a great youth program that's going on with it. People submit their films to the film festival. There's all kinds of workshops. It's just a really, really fun time.
So my husband is really brilliant at some things. He's brilliant at a lot of things. I've been telling him and one of his best friends forever, you guys need to put some of these ideas you have on paper. You guys would be the best film directors ever. So is this something they could come to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We would
yes.
love for you to come.
Okay, we'll have to get you guys signed up for that for sure.
Yeah.
So-
Tim Shields is the president of that, so
Oh,
he does
okay.
it. So.
Okay, we'll have to check that out. So, but you also offer tours, people that want to come out and take a tour of the property, and is that pretty ongoing?
You just come out between like 9 and 4 on a weekday. Sometimes we'll open on a Saturday, and then people can come out for tours.
Yeah.
So you just have to kind of keep up with our website and our newsletter.
Just to see
and,
what's going on.
see
You
what's
even
going on.
offer tours in July in Texas.
Yeah, in fact, I just saw some people out there, and I was like, "Whoa, they're brave."
They're braving it. They're braving
You're
it.
about to brave
yes,
it. Yes,
we are going to brave it, but I heard there was a golf cart involved.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll do it. So I heard you're working on George Washington show called The Arm or Washington's Armor. So tell us a little bit about that. And you're pretty passionate about this time in history, right? Yeah. So tell us about that.
I do love history. Washington's Armor is based on a book, or it's about this. I read the book called The Bulletproof George Washington by David Barton. And I read this book many years ago, and the story is about young George Washington 20 years prior to the Revolutionary War. And it is amazing what this man went through and the protection that God put over his life. Because, he wasn't, he couldn't die.
Yeah.
He had a lot to do before he died. So it's just really cool how God protected him in so many things that you would think you can't live through. He was shot in his jacket, with musket balls 4 times, and it went through his jacket, but it didn't penetrate his skin.
Wow.
And that part of it's going to be in the sequel.
Oh, okay.
So I've already done the first one, and it's out on Amazon now, Amazon Prime, and Voodoo and some other, places. But we're working on getting ready to do the second one. So.
Okay, that's so cool. So what made you passionate about this? Are you particular this time in history or just history in general? Like, can you go all the way back to Old Testament history, or do you American history? You're just passionate
No,
about
I am passionate about any awesome story.
There's a lot of them.
Any awesome God story,
Yeah.
and even like Washington's Armor is not overtly Christian.
Yeah.
It is just, it shows his faith as he lived it out, which he wasn't like an evangelist going out there.
Right, yeah.
But he was a Christian. He was a believer, and so you see that evidenced in the film. But
That's so cool. So if we have people that want to get involved in CAPERNAUM Studios, isn't there some things they can do out here? Like, there's tons of ways they can volunteer, right?
Oh yeah,
So
we have
what are some ways?
a great volunteer program. Lauren Crowder is our volunteer coordinator. You can go on our website, and I believe you can contact Lauren, and she can get you set up as a volunteer.
Yeah.
We have volunteers out here all the time. Like weekly, almost.
Really?
There's things that we need help with.
Yeah.
All the time, whether it's in the costume department, whether it's, out on the grounds, or, there's just a myriad of things.
Just
that
tons
we
of
can do.
stuff people can
And then we
do.
also need volunteers for our live productions when we have those. The next one will be Easter.
Okay. To play different parts and stuff. And
Well,
then,
they can be actors. They would need to get involved at the cast.
Yeah.
Or they can just be behind the scenes.
Okay, doing all the
we need a
things,
lot of volunteers
Yeah.
to run the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, I bet so. I bet it's quite a production. I can't wait to come out here for something like that. That would be so
We
cool.
need to come to the next one.
Okay, so I think we've learned everything we need to know about these studios. Now it's time to go see it. You ready to take a tour?
Let's do it.
All right.
So this is just our, production offices, and we have a special effects hair and makeup in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And then there's wardrobe over there. Hey, Susan.
Oh, this is wardrobe, yeah.
And this right here is the garden, and it runs the length of the parking lot. It's about a 30,000 square foot statue garden.
Wow.
That's a baby Noah's Ark. See, like it needs to be
Oh,
repaired.
yeah. Baby Noah's Ark.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's a baby.
Do all your animals, all the animals live here too, I'm assuming, right? Any animals you have in?
No, the
you have-
animals aren't here.
Okay.
Hey. They're not here working. Some of the staff, that was a volunteer on the
Okay,
staff.
that's what I was going to ask. Like, yeah, how many staff do you have?
I think about 21
Oh, wow.
staff.
This is crazy. This is just all put back here.
So
like, you guys are incredible.
So this is going to be an expansion area. We're going to expand the village out here. So I'm super excited about that. But I'll go ahead and show you the village first, and then we'll go to the other side. But I knew that they usually keep primary cast separate from the background, so then they put the background somewhere else. And here's the village.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm sure you'll recognize places from The Chosen.
This is insane. We interviewed Peter's wife, Lara.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we interviewed her.
How was she?
She was fantastic. She's got her hands in a few other things that she's doing too. But
That's
she was
neat.
Yeah, she was pretty cool.
Wow. So, like they did the big wedding scene here in the middle.
Yeah.
They just put walls up and did the big wedding scene. That's the Matthew, you know.
Oh yeah, this is where all that happened right there. Yeah.
And they, put so much stuff like out here. It just makes it look huge.
I was gonna say that's what
And-
it looks like. So huge on screen.
All the people and all the background people, and bustling around with all their stuff is
Wow.
made it really cool.
Oh, I
This
bet it's
is,
so cool. I bet it's like a step back in time.
Oh, it is. When they have it set dressed, it's just amazing. I love to see what people do. Ooh, rocks in my food. This is where she did the grape press. That was Peter's. That's Peter's house. And then over here is where Jesus met Mary Magdalene for the first time. Feels like my favorite thing.
Yeah. Is when everybody's here and it's bustling like that, is it just like a worshipful experience for you?
I love it.
Yeah, I would think so.
I did a tour the other day, and there was a film out here, and they're just so grateful to be here.
Yeah.
And it was, and then I see a lot of people I know
Yeah,
because it's kind of a small community,
yeah.
and so that's fun to see
Wow.
everybody. And
This is incredible.
yeah, and all these buildings have insides. The facades are only those walls right there,
Okay.
but these are all,
You can go inside.
yeah. These are all.
Oh yeah.
Somebody got
Chipotle catering. Oh yeah. Wow. So they can film any indoor scenes or anything.
Yeah, so they just set dress it how they want, and
Yeah.
wow, get whatever catering they want.
What is this little window for?
It just opens to the outside.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, yeah.
You go so I can shut the door.
So our expansion that's going to be out here will be more of a big city like Jerusalem, Rome,
And it'll go all the way down to the parking lot. Wow.
And so this was
Wow.
a live production that we did that we don't do anymore. It was called The Apocalypse Experience.
Oh my God.
And it was based on if you take God out of society, what could happen.
Oh wow.
Well, everything happened that was in it, and so it was old news, and it's like
Everything happened in the real world?
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, even on our last tour, people were like, "Well, that's old news." I don't know.
Oh my
Well, I guess
gosh.
we need to do something else. We call that Main Street, and then this is the same town after an earthquake.
Okay.
So it's
Oh
all
wow. That is crazy.
So our
Wow.
scene in this area was rioting and people surviving.
yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
like that actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah, but it actually happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is the beginning of our new colonial sets. We're going to expand all that way with our new colonial sets.
Okay.
But this room's versatile, so we've used it as a parlor, It actually was a parlor in Washington's Armor, so it's in the
okay.
show, the Fairfax parlor. So.
Parlor, yeah. Wow.
But then for our Independence Day, July 4th thing, we needed a church, and so
Turned into a church.
fixed a church. And the filmmakers, they all want alleyways.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so you can make it look like, you know, people are coming from different areas and stuff when you have alleyways.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is going to be an old barn when we finish with this. And then here's another one of our little colonial sets. I love this one.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
We call this
so
the
cool.
cabin.
Wow. So was Washington's Armor a lot filmed in here?
No, actually, I did a little short film for our immersion experience, and we had a family in here. And then for the live, when people are walking through, we did a scene in here that was about Prince Estabrook, who was a slave, but he went and fought for the Revolutionary War, and they could gain their freedom if they actually fought.
Yeah.
And he actually did gain his freedom. I didn't get to tell the end of the story, you know, in our
Yeah.
production, but
Yeah.
he was brave and you know,
Huh.
and so it's a great story. But anyway, this was like the favorite, the scene.
Yeah.
We had some great actors in here.
That's so cool.
This is a really good one. And then we call this the White House. Not just because it's white and it's a house, but because Martha Custis, before she was Martha Washington,
yeah.
she called their house the White House,
Yeah.
which could be why the White House is called the White House.
Yeah.
I haven't done that research.
Oh, wow.
So this one is set dressed like a parlor
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Somebody's house.
Wow. Do people come in here on the regular and just clean for you and or do you like maintain it often, just each building in general, or as far as like cleaning it up and it's just always ready, or when
I
someone
do
wants
like
it, you
it.
come in? Yeah, you like it kept.
I like it kept.
Yeah.
So I have many times walked on set and it wasn't.
Oh.
But this is what we aim for.
Yeah.
And so I like it to be set dressed. But then if the film comes in and they want to totally
Yeah.
take everything out and do whatever,
Sure.
then we do that.
Yeah.
We accommodate whatever they want to do. But
Yeah. Can I sit in this director's chair?
sure.
You might take a picture, Scott. Look at this.
Yeah. Get her picture in it. You need to face it towards the green screen.
That's so funny. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like this.
So this is an 8,000 square foot soundstage.
Wow. So did they do some shows and stuff in here with the screen?
No, we didn't have it this ready. It's new.
Okay.
But we did have the building and they used it for props.
Oh.
And they filled this thing up
Really?
with props.
Oh, so this is like where you'd have a retreat.
Yeah,
This is what
this
you're
is
talking
where
about,
we
yeah.
used to have retreats. But now we use it for lodging for the films.
Okay, yeah.
And they'll come out and rent it.
Oh yeah, this is so great. Wow, another bedroom and another bedroom back here. That's impressive.
Yeah, this is our.
But it's also Washington's Tavern. This is awesome.
This
Oh my gosh.
one of our staff members thought this would be a great place for a tavern, and turns out it was.
Yes. This is crazy.
But yeah, this is our little, where everybody eats, all the films,
There's this statue out there.
The Chosen.
I'm gonna come look at this statue real quick.
So here's the tomb.
Oh, wow.
Little cute tomb.
You always have music out here?
If we don't have a film.
Yeah.
For some reason, the films don't want music on it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Rebecca, I am thankful for golf carts.
And water and air conditioning.
Yes, and Tammy Lane. She was so awesome.
She was amazing. We
Yeah.
got that amazing personal tour. And there were some of those buildings that had air conditioning on in them. I was surprised.
know.
Yeah, it was so pleasant.
So what was your favorite part of the tour?
Oh gosh, I really liked at the very end we walked through the garden, and I don't know, that was kind of moving for me, and also the tomb I thought was kind of moving for me. And then as far as from like an emotional standpoint, but from a like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, like the gigantic stage, and then the green room with the little sound stage, and like the whole room was like, I guess padded or whatever for.
Yeah, the green screen room.
Yeah,
that was pretty
I've never
cool.
seen one of those.
Okay, for me it was walking into the Capernaum Village where they had filmed The Chosen, and you're seeing all these spots from the show, like where Matthew was in the little cage doing his tax collector stuff, and then where at Peter's house where they crushed the grapes, and just the emotional scenes that Peter and his wife had there.
Yeah.
With Lotta Cavino
that's
that
right.
we've talked to before, who's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
But just seeing those spots and just seeing how the filmmakers made that look like a huge village.
Yes.
Like-
And it was not that big.
I know, it's just incredible. Like we were driving on the way home, we're like, how did they do that?
Right. They make
So,
it look like an
yeah.
entire humongous town.
Yeah, like you're out in the middle of Nazareth or something.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Really cool. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this interview that we got to do with Tammy Lane and also our tour through Capernaum. You too can take a tour through Capernaum. You can go out there like Monday through Friday during the day. You can buy tickets. You can also volunteer at different places. As we said before, like there's tons of things to do. So we hope you guys will check it out. We hope you guys enjoyed this interview with Tammy Lane. Hardy Party 5 1/2, over and out.
We'll see you next time.